Hello, hello, hello. You guys are here. I'm so excited. Woohoo! Tell me who's here, where you are from, and what you're drinking because I got today I have my pumpkin chai. I just can't not have pumpkin chai. I love pumpkin chai. I have it every single day. Okay, there's somebody here. Vanessa says, "Hello, can't follow now, but I will." Well, thank you. I will. I look forward to you returning. All right, Trish is here. Trish, you made it. Trish was like, I'm worried I can't make it. Sometimes I can't make it. I'm glad you made it. So today I am not doing it on IG or Instagram live because it just was like most people are here and then they can't see the chat. So I was just encouraging them to come over here instead. So we'll see if they do. I don't know. Okay, Mindy Mudge is here. Kombucha tea, and you're from Silva, North Carolina. Cool. Grace is here from New Mexico. I bet it's nice and hot in New Mexico. And Laura, good morning from the Crow's Nest Pass in Alberta. Oh, we used to drive that way all the time when I was a kid. I bet you're getting a lot more traffic these days with the highway situations in BC. Mm. Yes, so let me know what you're drinking. I've been actually hitting the holiday teas pretty hard. I've been having my candy cane lattes. My husband every day is like, "You want to make me a latte?" And I'm just like, "Okay." So I crunch up the candy cane, and I make I use candy cane crush for the bottom, and then I put steamed milk and the fluff on top, and then I put um, the candy cane on top. And so it is delicious. I made a video, a shorts. No, yes. Well, I made a shorts and a reel about it if you're interested in how I make my candy cane latte. And Laura says, lots of traffic. Yeah, I bet. There was a huge, kind of like a natural disaster, I guess. They call it what do they call it? An atmospheric river, and there was a massive amount of rain that hit in BC and it washed out highways. It was insane because we are used to rain. But so the highway is going Laura's direction now because to get to Alberta, that's kind of like the best route at the moment. And Shauna is here from Langley, and it's your first time. Hi, Shauna. I'm so glad that you're here. Vanessa, it's time here in Europe. You are always so on time, girl. Well, I try. I am somewhat punctual most of the time. Don't mind me as I look at the comments here. Michelle, hi from East Texas, an hour from Dallas. My aunt lives near there. My iced coffee, almond milk, chocolate protein powder. That sounds really good. Mindy, you're excited about the email about the Simplified Christmas Advent Challenge. Yay, I'm so excited about that too. I'll tell you guys more about it. I think it's going to be so fun. Yay, Kelsey's here. Good morning from Delta. You have a plain old Tetley orange pekoe bag tea. You know what? I really love that kind, although we are more of a red rose family, but and Grace says, God has found favor with us and blessed us with some cool weather and rain today. Woot, woot. Are you the one from New Mexico? Wow. Yeah. My editor for video, she is in Mesa. And so we're always talking about the weather. And Shauna says she loves the Starbucks nut flavored drinks. I don't get enough Starbucks. I have rosacea, and so coffee really aggravates it, even decaf, which sucks so much. Even tea does, but I have my tea addiction. I only have 4 a day, sometimes 5, but it used to be 7 or 8. Okay, and sun shining in the Hebrides is here, and you're having lapsang souchong tea. Ooh. Good morning. And you have sunshine over there, Kelsey? We don't have sunshine here. Or are you just saying hi to sunshine? Oh, yes, you guys are buddies. Okay. And Ginger, you are fun to watch and listen to. And you have a few really good takes on things. Well, thank you. Allison, you're here from Kamloops. I was just talking about the weather and all the crazy stuff that's been happening in BC. All right. And Kelsey says, we have friends on their way from the interior via Idaho. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that must be. They can't take Highway 3? Did Highway 3? Oh, right. I forgot because of that. Yes. All right. So everybody, Eileen, I seriously could sit here and just like talk back and forth, but I think other people would be like, Carameus. I love Carameus, especially in the winter. I love driving through Carameus. I love if you haven't been through Carameus, guys, there's these fruit stands all year. It's beautiful. But in the fall in particular, like pumpkins galore. I just love it. I'm such a sucker for the cooler weather. I really am. Hi, Allie. You're here from Winnipeg. Eileen from Chicago. Trish, you had to go to Plan B and Plan C on your first trip to go up to Quagmire City. The tree is pre-lit and one section just went, oh, darn it. You're going to be all ears today, but you're breaking up like broadcasting from the moon. Am I sounding, does everybody, do I sound okay to the rest of you? Because sometimes audio, that's the thing is I can see that it looks okay. And Ginger, Hill Country, Texas in the house. Woohoo! Perfect day, little breeze. That's nice. And Allie, you got your tea vanilla, David's tea vanilla cappuccino. Yum. Okay, thank you, Kelsey. I'm glad that sounds okay to you. Sorry, Trish. Okay, so guys, let's chat today. I was going to answer, thanks everybody. I'm going to answer a couple of questions about how to, so first B Thinks asked a question and it was, what do you recommend for inspiration for the between stages of decluttering? My home is neat and clean as it is staged to sell, and the storage areas tell a different story. And she had little notice to stage as a renter and thoughts and ideas to keep the momentum. So first of all, I think that's really nice to be going to such lengths to stage as a renter. I think that's very nice. Some renters wouldn't do that. And very nice of you since they didn't give you a lot of notice. So what I would do is I would probably just work bit by bit. So if I had a storage area, I would, my thing is I always say half an hour at a time. So I would just go into the storage area, even if it's just jam packed, and just pull out a box and be like, I'm going to work on this for 30 minutes and just try to do it like box by box, little bit by little bit. You would be amazed at how much you can get done when you just do little bit by little bit. And I always say to myself, if I keep going, I will be done. It's like this morning, I'm going to tell you something so funny. So I usually get my eyebrows waxed. I don't like plucking my eyebrows. I know you're like, how is this relate to that? But so this morning I was like, man, I have not done my eyebrows for a while because the lady who did it, she laughed and I was just like, I can maintain them. So I thought, wow, like I really have to make up for some lost ground. So I said to myself, I'm just going to do 5 each side for the next few days. So if I wanted to, I could pluck them all off if I did 5 a day. It would just be impossible to not. So the point is, and hopefully, like I will definitely stop when I get where I want to be, but just 5 a day, and then I will get there because that's just sort of how I live any big monumental task I don't want to do. If I was decluttering my storage area, I would just be like, I am going to hit this for 30 minutes a day, and no matter what, unless you're adding 30 minutes of work a day, you will get there. It will happen. So I would just do 30 minutes a day of decluttering. Because yes, I know it's hard in between stages, but in particular, if they're selling their house, your landlords, then they are going to be they potentially you might have to move. I don't know. Whoever buys it might be like happy for you to stay there, but maybe not. So if you do have to move, you will be so glad that you decluttered a bunch of things. So, and then the second question I have is how from Vanessa. She asked this 2 weeks ago, and I just found it. I was like, oops. And she says how to create a decluttering routine for kids. So I'm going to tell you what I have been doing with my kids. So I have two teenagers and a 12-year-old. And the older two both have ADHD, and the oldest really struggles with keeping himself organized. Well, they both are just, I hate to say it, but a little bit messy. So basically, when they do their laundry, they each have a designated laundry day. We go in and we spend 15 minutes together decluttering. And my goal, in particular for my oldest, because he's 16, like soon he will be an adult, and I am hoping to really give him a good foundation for how to live life. I mean, people with ADHD, it's a real struggle, and I talk about this a lot, but he we spend 15 minutes, and my goal is to help encourage him to have like a maintenance routine for keeping his room clean. So if you were helping your kids declutter, and we actually do a little bit of decluttering when we're in there, I mean, for the most part, not there's not a ton of extra stuff, but my middle one, he's way more of a pack rat. But I spend 15 minutes because they don't really want me doing this with them, but I'm sort of just like, listen, we have to get this done. I want you to learn these skills. And then I'm happy to leave you alone. Like, I'm like, I don't actually want to come in your room. I mean, it's not that I don't mind going in, but I'm like, I don't want to come in and be dealing with your stuff. That's your personal business. It's also not something I feel like doing. So that is my thing. So when it comes to creating a decluttering routine with your kids, I would just say we are going to spend 15 minutes, because with kids, 15 minutes to them, it seems like 4 hours, even though for me, 15 minutes feels like 4 hours when I'm in their rooms, let me tell you. But anyway, that is how you create a decluttering routine for your kids. All right, let's see. The weather is not so good up in the Hebrides. Yeah, I bet. We're on severe weather warnings with 80 miles per hour wind. Wow. Yikes. And Shauna says, this is good advice because I panic and pile all my crap onto the dining room table, thinking I will declutter it later. Funny story. There were two kind of like hutches in our dining room, and one I didn't show that much because I was planning on decluttering it. And we did. So what we did was my mom really wanted it. She needed something to display things. She lives in an apartment. And so I said, this is your Christmas and your birthday present. And so I gave it to her. And I put up a picture that I got from my grandparents because they just downsized, and it was, an important picture to me. So I'm really happy about that. But so there still were things in the hutch, and I knew where they all could go, and I knew some of it could be decluttered. So I actually probably will make a video on it because I did take some pictures of the actual table and everything, but they're like, yeah, like I had that table was full. I said to my husband, can you help me unpack it? And he did, which was great. But then I had to deal with it all. And yeah, it was a bit of a chore, but I did my thing. I said, I'm going to spend a half an hour. And I remember I was going to make dinner afterwards. So I put my AirPods in, my favorite thing to do. I put in a podcast, and I just spent half an hour, and I had it 3/4 done in the first day. And then by the second day, it was over. And so now it's nice and clean and it's all done. I'm very happy about that. And let's see, I'm just going to look at the rest. Grace says, do you have plans to do another Christmas gifts to give video this year? I do, actually. I have one about kids and gifts coming up next Monday. And then I have one about last minute gifts. Let me look here. I actually have my little plan here. Last minute gifts. And I'm also going to do one on gift baskets. And that might make you be like, what? But I love giving gift baskets. And I really love getting gift baskets, mostly because they're pretty much consumables that I give and get. And I made cookies. I was going to show you guys my cookies. I forgot them in the kitchen, but I made some cookies yesterday because I'm actually going to bring my grandparents a gift basket on Saturday, because that's when I pick my son up from work, and I'm going to bring them a gift basket because they just moved into a tiny little apartment that doesn't even really have a kitchen. It has like a um, kitchenette, I guess you would call it. And I even said to my grandma, like, "Do you have your Christmas soap? You know how I love my Christmas soap," and she does too. And she was like, "No." So I was like, I gotta like, this is the woman who taught me how to Christmas here. Okay, so I gotta bring her some soap and some cookies. I'm going to make some yummy nuts. So I'm going to do a video about making a gift basket, which is sort of like a no clutter gift that I like to give. I don't even usually give a basket anymore. I used to, but now I basically just give it in like a nice little gift bag or something. Let me see. All righty. And Kelsey, who is more tea, please, she says, actually got a lot of insight from doing the clutter bug quiz. Yeah. And I'm thinking it could help with finding good systems for the kids to organize and maintain their stuff too. I think that's true, Kelsey. I like that. And if you haven't done the clutter bug quiz, she's got a really good quiz. And I can't remember the name of all the different bugs, but there's one that's like butterfly. And it's people who, it's sort of like how people want to have things organized and to display their things. So some people are very organized. I don't know all the bugs, but some people, they like things just sort of tucked away and they don't want to see it. And other people, they want it out in the open and organized. Like they would have like their butterfly, cricket, bee, and ladybug. Yeah. And so I just don't know what they each are. I think butterfly is the person that likes it out. They want to see their stuff, but organized. So for me, I think I haven't even done the quiz, but I have looked into the bugs, and I think it's a super cool idea. I like to have things tucked away, but and I want it organized, tucked away, and I don't even want there to be much of it. So it's super helpful too. And Trish says, I meant to be putting these on the screen. We'll try replay from local library. I'm too far off the grid. House has a metal roof. Oh dear, it's gusty. That's okay. Bye, Trish. Yeah, the weather is not good for Trish. It's crazy. I always say November is like summer and winter are fighting, and then March is winter and summer are fighting. Ginger says macro and micro organizers, visual and hidden. Exactly. That's so helpful. Yeah, I've got to figure out what style I am. But it is a really, really cool thing. Maybe I'll do a video on it and just give her major props because I really, really like Cass. She's super friendly and nice. Are you a ladybug, Allie? Oh, you're just giving that. Okay, so Kelsey, what bug are you? Share with me. Share with us. Ah, and Allie is a ladybug. So what does that mean? And so I'm asking questions and I'm waiting for the response. It's so funny to do this when like it's just you like talking to a computer, but yet I'm like with all my friends because I love you guys. I have like the best audience in the world. Oh my gosh. Speaking of the best audience in the world, I might as well tell you, okay, so how to avoid overwhelm at Christmas. Let's talk about that because some people get crazy overwhelmed at Christmas. And I can get that. I get that some people can get super overwhelmed. There's so much to stress about for a lot of people. Like people get stressed about decorating. They get stressed about the gifts. They get stressed about the obligations. There's Christmas parties. There's food. There's the big Christmas dinner in some cases. There are all of these things. And they can really stress people out. And I hope I'm not stressing you out when I list those things because for me, I initially was getting super stressed with all of the things I wanted to get done. And I've said this before because I really love Christmas and I love to do all of the things. And I always talk about my grandma, and I think that's part of it was her. And it was actually probably the experience of going to Calgary where my grandparents lived when I was young. And I would pretty much just like there were decorations galore. We went to the mall several times. So that was a fun experience, walking around the mall with like your hot coat on, and then the kids and we would sit in the basement and just watch like Christmas shows on VHS and Betamax, pretty much for like a week or two. It was so fun. getting up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, waking everybody up, like just so much fun. And so for me, I take all of that and like the food and the baking and all of that. And that is just to me, that is Christmas. I'm very fortunate. I had really good Christmases as a kid. And talking about the gifts, I think some people have gone overboard. And I've said in the past, I think my parents maybe didn't need to spend the amount of money they did and didn't need to get us all of the stuff. But hey, it was the 80s, right? So a lot of us, though, we can get overwhelmed. And for me, I wanted to get all of that stuff done. I want to bake things. I want to decorate. I want to go out and do things. I wish I could skate outside, but Vancouver Island is warm. I want to go to Victoria to the Butchart Gardens that we do. I want to go to Ladysmith and look at all the lights. I want to do all of these things. And then I was finding that I was getting really stressed because I didn't have the time, and it would be like 23rd, 24th of December, and I was feeling really disappointed because I didn't get the things that I wanted to done because I want to enjoy Christmas too. I want to enjoy my life. I'm not a person who feels like just because I'm a mom and a wife that I need to sacrifice all of my desires and things I want to do because of that. And so I was like, I'm writing down everything that I want to do every single Christmas. And I just made a list. And so I encourage you guys to do this too. I wrote down the food I want. I wrote down the movies I wanted to watch because I love watching lots of Christmas movies. Again, it goes back to, grandparents' house in Calgary in the basement. I wanted to get all of that done. And so I wrote it all down, and it was like the 23rd. And then I plopped it all in the calendar for the next year when I wanted to get those things done because I knew so much of it could be done way ahead of time, like October, November, right? Like gifts, you can buy a lot of gifts ahead of time. You can plan a lot of food ahead of time. You can bake, all of that. Like basically, the fun is the only thing that needs to happen in December. And to me, that's the best part. So, how to avoid the overwhelm at Christmas. Number one, don't get overstimulated by all of the sights and sounds. So, some people who maybe are on the autism spectrum or have anxiety or just are easily overstimulated, they will be overstimulated by all of the decor and all of the lights. So, you want to be mindful of that. When you're decorating, make sure you put away the decorations that you already have out so that you're not adding a bunch of things. Be careful of a lot of lights. You don't want a lot of flashy things, stuff like that. For me, I like to just make sure that I put all of that away. And then the second thing, keep your decor to a minimum if you get overstimulated, because honestly, I don't. I'm just sorry. I'm just looking out the window. My husband and my son are getting back. My son had a cough, so he had to go have a COVID test. So they're getting back. So yeah, keep your decor to a minimum if you get overstimulated. You maybe don't want a lot of decorations. If you saw my tour, you will see that I have Christmas decorations out. I have 3 trees, but I even try to keep that to a minimum. I don't really have extra stuff. I feel like the bookshelf is still a little cluttered for me, but I think I'm just going to have to get a different one day, one with doors. Somebody suggested that. I was like, hey, that's a good idea. I hadn't even thought of that. And then the third thing to avoid overwhelm at Christmas, this is so big. Have a plan for downtime. I think this is the thing where the most of us forget how important downtime is, because you have like, first of all, if you're super busy and if you're super overwhelmed with things, you are not going to be appreciating the season. And so for me, I think I've talked about my thinking time a few times where I go and I lie down in my bed and I just sort of like quietly think. And I have like a nice little ceramic tree in there right now, and I turn it on and I just sort of lay there and I just enjoy just like laying and thinking, right? And it helps me sleep well because I've gotten all of my thinking that I need to do out of the way. Because sometimes you lie down at night and you're like, you can't sleep because your mind is racing. It's because you haven't had time to think during the day. So that is what I do. The other thing is, as far as downtime goes, is like I plan sitting down, having a cup of tea, and watching, YouTube that I like to watch, Christmas YouTube, and Christmas movies, any of that. Like after this live stream, I'm going to go and have some downtime. Going to take an hour. I'm just going to watch something relaxing. One of my very favorite YouTube channels to watch, especially at Christmas, is Garden Answer. Now, I talked about them on my Instagram. I love Garden Answer, the Garden Answer YouTube channel. Even if you don't like gardening, but you like Christmas, watch their Christmas stuff. The rest of the year, they have amazing, amazing stuff. But the the Christmas, just watch the last like 5 years worth of Christmas. You will thank me for it. So you've got to have a plan for your downtime. Just take your time, enjoy your tea, make time for a break every single day, but in particular, schedule a full day of rest. I need to do more of that. I definitely get my little bits in during the day. I'm not so good with the full day because I'm so kind of like trying to engage with all of my YouTube stuff. I love it. And then number four, have a plan. So I touched on this when I said about writing out everything you want to get done. Have a plan. So this year, I have decided I think it's going to be super, super fun. And I want to do a simplified Christmas Advent challenge. Woo! So this will be in a YouTube group, or oh my gosh, this will be in a Facebook group, but I'm so excited because every day I'm going to do a quick video. I'm just going to say like an idea for that day, like to plan some fun, to have feeling, practicing gratitude for the day, planning meals for Christmas or whatever. Like there will be days where we get things done. So there will be daily, really quick videos. It won't be super long, probably like less than 5 minutes. And then I'm even going to have a prize at the end for whoever's the most engaged because I really want you guys to get that like relaxing, fun Christmas that I know you deserve because this is your life too, and you deserve to enjoy it. So I want you guys to join me in that. So there's a link, and it is above the video or below it, depending on where you're watching this. And I really think it'll be so much fun. So guys, please join me. I don't want to be alone in this challenge. It's going to be so fun. All right, I'm gonna catch up on some comments here. Okay, so everybody, they're telling me what kind of bugs they are. Michelle, I'm a ladybug that likes my items hidden, but in broad categories. For example, I like putting things into baskets with no order. Okay. Kelsey, you are a cricket at heart, but with all the executive functioning issues, you're a ladybug in practice. Interesting. So, and crickets are hidden micro-organizers. I love my teeny specific categories, but I obsess and get overwhelmed, and it's mentally healthier for me to do a ladybug's macro organizing. That is very insightful of you, Kelsey. And you are my hero with actually doing the pre-planning and writing it down. So the thing is, Ginger, once you plan it once, you don't have to plan it again. Like I seriously wrote it all down. I was so bothered that year. Like I can't even tell you. I was just disappointed. Like there were certain cookies I didn't bake that I wanted to bake. I know it sounds crazy, but when something's important to you, it just is, even if it's something silly like cookies. And so I was so bummed. And I was like, I didn't get this done and that done. It sounds silly, I know. But what I did, I just scheduled all of the not as fun stuff. And so it pops up on my phone and I'm like, oh, I got to order my soap. And then I have my soap. And then I'm like, yay, I have my Christmas soap, right? So like on December 1st, I'm going to make my Christmas wreath because I think it's so fun to make a Christmas wreath. So that's what I'm going to do. Just things like that. Like I have like put up the Christmas lights on October 1st. My husband loves that one. Okay. Allison, I used to feel like I had to get everything done before Christmas, but now we enjoy doing some of the activities after Christmas. Yeah, it also helps reduce the post-Christmas crash/disappointment. This is such a good one too, because our kids' school, for some reason, well, I guess it's calendar reasons. Like some years they're like last day of school is like December 21st, and we're like the fun is before Christmas. The fun is not after Christmas. Like they're not going back until like January 7th or something crazy like that. And so this year it's better, but I was just like, man, like then you're just sitting around. So yeah, you're right. It is fun to do a lot of those things after Christmas. It's hard for me though. Like I would go like, okay, let's go cross country skiing or something. It'd be hard for me to do like Christmassy stuff. Kelsey says I'm autistic and have ADHD and anxiety, and all my kids have neurodivergent stuff going on as well. Yep. Absolute minimum amount of decor is essential for us. Exactly. And that's just it. Like some people don't want a lot. Thank you, Laura. She says, I just love your videos. I get that. Like if we were in a smaller house, we would definitely not have the three trees. And I know I always say this, but it's for light. It's so dark here. It is so dark like today. It's so dark out. Okay. Yes. Ooh, I love this. Colleen, designated PJ days at the kids, pets, cocoa, cookies, and cuddles. Oh, that sounds so nice. I think we're going to have to do that on Sunday. All right. And Debbie says, hi from East Scotland, not too far from Edinburgh. If you ever make it across, let me know and we can try to meet up. My mother-in-law is from Edinburgh. My niece just moved there. So her mom was born there though. And so, because my husband is like mostly Scottish and his mom immigrated before she had him and his twin sister. But yes, I would love to go there. We actually were going to April 2020, and we know how that turned out. Colleen says, or Kelsey says, a good down day plan. Yeah. Ginger says, when you're in your 70s and retired, you must do downtime, either planned or it plans for you. It's true though, but it's like that for everybody, right? Like if you don't take the time to take care of yourself and to relax, I mean, it's going to happen. Like for me, there are times where I'm like, I am so tired. I am definitely going to, I need a break, right? So thank you, Joanne. That's super nice of you. All right. Okay, Mindy, she says, can you list the steps again? I can. And if you join the challenge, I also have a video that I that I email you about it. And then I'll also talk about it in the actual Facebook group for sure. You guys, you gotta sign up. Like click on the link and sign up right now. I really, really want you there. It'll be so much fun. Kelsey, I better see you there. All right. Okay, so the steps. Where's my list? I actually have a list. Is it here? No. Oh my gosh, I think I recycled it. Oh, see, sometimes I'm too efficient. So what you're going to do is write down all of the people you're going to buy gifts for. And you don't have to write the ideas of the gifts you have just yet. You can if you want to, though. So write down all the people you want to buy gifts for, all of the food that you want to make or that your family wants you to make. And this is nothing you're obligated to do. It's just nice to have it all written down. And for me, I don't have my book. Darn it. I have a book that I have it all written in each page. I think I show it in one of my videos. I think it's the one that came out at the very beginning of November. And then write down all of the Christmas movies you want to watch, all of the snacks you want to make, all of the baking you want to do, all of that. Write it all down, and then you can start plugging and then the big thing is writing down the chores. So write down the chores and then start deciding when you want to do all of the chores. And so for me, a lot of them I do in November. A few I do in October. And like the gift buying, I try to do that ahead of time. At the very least, I at least decide what I'm buying people. And I try to do a lot of the baking in November. So I just made cookies last night. Today I'm making sausage rolls, like all of that. I just love it. It's so much fun. And but in our group, I'm going to send out every day. I'm going to do a video and I'm going to say, let me see. Like I've got like prep food on the 23rd of December. Prep whatever you can. Like, peel potatoes and put them in water. Any of that. Like that's not even a good example. Last minute gifts. Buying last minute gifts, last minute gift ideas. So there will be like quick little videos, not very long, like less than 5 minutes. They'll probably be like 2 minutes, just to give you an idea of what to do. And then we can share what we've done. And there's a prize for the people who are the most active. Yay. And even if you don't plan on doing a lot, join it anyway. It will be fun. And I think hopefully, like my goal is that you guys can enjoy your Christmas, find it peaceful, find it relaxing. I want this to be like the Christmas where you're like, you know what, that was really nice. I enjoyed that. I didn't dread it. It wasn't terrible. So we can work on it together. Laura signed up. Woohoo! Yay, Laura. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, what else? What did Ginger say? Not silly at all. Thank you, Ginger. You want me to make a Christmas wreath video? I could. Yeah, maybe I will. I did have a few slots open left in December on how to make a Christmas wreath. It's really fun because well, we live on an acreage. I was like gonna actually move my camera, but that would just be crazy. But yeah, trees everywhere. And and so I went to the garden center, Garden Works, which we have here. And I think you guys have that in the lower mainland, Kelsey. And they have things for wreaths. Like I could get like magnolia leaves and stuff. So I was like, ooh, because in the past I've wanted to do that. So I'm really excited about that. I probably will go and grab some of that on Saturday. I'm so excited because Saturday is the day I am shopping for my stockings. So there will be like lots of chocolate. I'm just going, I always go to London Drugs. I don't know why. And that's where I buy, I guess because they have a good selection of chocolate and candy and stuff. And let's see. Mindy says, I tell my kids I want their time as gifts and they roll their eyes. It's so true though. Like for me, I'm like, give me something I can eat. Give me time, something like that. All right. And Debbie says, you have a jammy day once a week where I don't bother getting dressed and just sleep lots. I do have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, so need to rest up lots if I want to or not. Yeah, that's the same. My mom, she has fibromyalgia as well, and she needs to sleep as well. Yay, Allison signed up. Hooray! I'm so excited. This challenge is a gift to you. Yay! It will be so fun. It's going to be fun. I'm super excited. And you know what? I think I'll do a live in the challenge once a week. I was already looking. I think it'll be, well, I might just do it Wednesday since I'm already set up. That would make the most sense, wouldn't it? And you do have a Garden Works over there. I thought you would. RK says, wreath video, please. Okay. Also, check out Garden Answer because she has lots of wreath videos too. And then watch mine. Hers will be better, but it'll be fun to watch me try to somehow film a wreath video. I'm going to have to choose a day where it's not raining. I don't think it's raining here yet, but it's going to. I think apparently there's another atmospheric river coming, Kelsey. Kristen, good morning. Nice to meet you after watching you for months. Hello, it's so nice to meet you. I'm glad you made it. Kristen says Saturdays are your jammy days. That's nice. You know what I have to do this Saturday? Okay, I can't believe how much driving I have to do this Saturday. I've got to take my son to work. Then I'm going to go do my London drug shop. Then I have to pick my mom up. It's actually going to work out well for that. Pick her up from the airport. Then I need to drop her off. Then I'm going to pick up my other son, drop off my grandparents' gift basket and hang out with them. Then I've got to take my other son to work at 4 and then pick him up at 8. My husband's working and he'll be home at like 6:30. I don't think I'm going to make him go and pick up my son, but my goodness. You like the lives, Kelsey? I like the lives too. It's so fun to hang out with you guys. Oh my goodness. Debbie, she signed up too. Hooray! You guys are awesome. You like making planters too? Oh my gosh. Allie, have you checked out Garden Answer? You've got to. Oh my gosh. There's one. She just does so many good ones. She just had a second baby in January. So I think that she's like realizing that life is busy. Because before I was like, my gosh, where does she find her energy? And now this year she was like, I don't think I'm going to decorate as much. And I was like, no doubt. Because she went, like she decorated. In fact, there's a tour from last year where she tours one of her, actually the people who they bought their house from, their new house. It's a beautiful house, but wow, is it ever decorated? I thought, holy smokes, Kristen, that's a lot to do. I know, right? Like I am glad that our car plugs in. It's a plug-in hybrid gas car, which is actually good too because our Vancouver Island is on rations. Are you on rations too in Kelsey, for gas? Because we are like totally, they're rationing the gas, like 30 liters we can buy. We haven't bought any. because our van, I don't know if our van needs gas, but we probably should get some. And I'm glad the car plugs in. And Kelsey says, yeah, I'm worried about some of our friends in the Fraser Valley. The water's gone down for now. Yes, but it's just such an awful situation. None of us need rain right now, especially not there. It's so funny too, because then it'll be like summer and we're like, we need rain. People think like it's so rainy, but it is for half of the year. It would be nice if it could balance out just a little bit. All right. Does anybody have any questions I can answer before we hop off? I am gonna go and have my downtime soon. Okay, Kristen says, why are you being rationed for gasoline? Good question. So I mentioned the atmospheric river that just dumped buckets of rain. And so it washed out one of the main highways going through BC. In fact, it's part of the Trans-Canada Highway, which is the highway that goes from the tip of Vancouver Island all the way across Canada to, where does it go to? Is it Nova Scotia? So that has made it hard for them to truck some gasoline in, but also, what else? I'm not exactly sure. Kelsey says that they are on rations as well on the lower mainland. For anyone who doesn't know, we do still have fuel. They're asking us to minimize consumption. Yeah. And so, like, there are people here apparently, like, we haven't even gotten gas, but there are people here who are like going and then they go back because it's like 30 liters at a time. It's so funny because, like, it's hoarding is greed. Our pastor mentioned this at church the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I guess it kind of is, right? Because you're basically like, no, I want to make sure that I have enough, right? And so it's like, oh, but at the same time, I get it. Like I always talk about the Swedish death cleaning instincts, right? Like the clutter, the hoarding, the fear of death, and I mean the hoarding. It makes sense. Like you're like, hey, I want to get my stuff. Allison says it washed out all of the highways from Metro Vancouver to the rest of Canada. Yeah, I didn't realize. Like, so Highway 3 is a no-go? People can't go that way? Ginger says it is Joe Biden. I don't know what you guys were talking about. And let's see. So Michelle, where you sign up, here, let me put a link in here. I actually have it handy. There's also in the comments section, there, I put it there, where you can sign up for the challenge. It's gonna be so fun. Highway 3 is open one way. Oh my gosh, for essential travel, crazy. So people can go through the States, but then with COVID, it's so hard. People used to drive through the States for, just because I think it's more direct, like when you're driving certain, like over, like through Montana and stuff. But now with COVID, it's just so much harder. And Canada requires like a negative COVID test for everything. So yeah, it's too bad. All right. I don't see any more questions. And I am gonna go and make some sausage rolls here in a minute. So sign up for the challenge, you guys. I'm so excited. And it will start, of course, on December the 1st, but you will get an email with a video and with like a printout where you can, where you can write all of those things down and a calendar. You can plug it in. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You're welcome, Kelsey. So fun. So fun. All right, you guys. Well, I will see you next time. Be here next Wednesday and join the challenge because we are going to have a lot of fun. And yeah, I think there will be probably a Wednesday live, probably. All right. I'll see you next time.